Okay. Let's see what this game is all about. Let's see what all the fuss is about. No, I have not played Stanley Parable before. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I like to see things. Please enter the current time. How is that relevant? It's technically 2:12. Oh, nope, it just turned 2:13. Perfect. Oh, did I say AM or PM? Crap. I wasn't looking. Okay. Okay. The end is never.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley!
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
But?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ooh. I am Stanley. Number 427. Making noises, but nothing's happening. I say I hate. Oh, I hate Mondays. I thought it said I hate Sundays, and I was like, what? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? I don't think it's a window. I don't know where the meeting room is, but looks like they were raptured. Or raided. Why are there so many who farted mugs? B3.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Don't tell me what to do.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I think that he's sassing me.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I just don't like being told what to do. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. It will cause death. Oh!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
Hey.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I didn't.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I guess I'll follow
When
instructions
Stanley
this
came
time.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you, take it out passive-aggressively, resent coworkers? Using slides to assure employees everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic on the header. Oh. Alright, this game's got jokes. What is unique? You most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Can I sit down? I'm enjoying this. Rates of increase of graphs per slide. No more charts, please! The boss appreciation minute. Circle the top 20 things. Fill out in triplicate. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, oops, typo. It takes 2 people to start a fight. But right now you're both of them. What are your dreams for the future? Success. Plant life. Spring break. Clear skin. Hope. Pollution. Pollution? Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time every day with no exception or promotion. Expectation. Oh, that's not how you spell expectation either. Promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Alright. What a lovely slideshow. Ooh, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
You're making it sound like there is, though.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I was trying to interact with things, but nothing was... Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I just don't like following directions. I want to read that. It's like a love letter.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
I mean...
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
I have narrators in my head.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
You're telling yourself that, Stanley.
Okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Uh-oh. You good, Stanley?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh no!
Although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
All right, Mariella. Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I suppose I'm being punished for not...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I will, thank you. I would like to sing Defying Gravity with that broom.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, fancy office. This floor's so fancy. Look at the bathroom. Hell yeah. Oh. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast. Money crisp. Amazing. Extreme bathrooms. Whoa.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
All these books.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Secret door. Secret tunnel. Spooky. Elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Say so. Oh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But escape. That's, see, that feels like a trick. I don't know if it's doing reverse psychology on it, or if I should do reverse psychology on it. Okay, let's just go in here. Maybe we get to do the mind controlling.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ooh. Ooh. Oh! Oh no! I didn't mean to do that.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Oh, thank you.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it.
Hell yeah!
Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
Woo.
You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful.
I should have been careful.
It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good
In
job,
my defense,
you did it. Good
I fell off
job,
a desk.
You did it. Good job, you did it.
But I'll take the good job.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
I wish all video games ended with them telling me I did a good job. Okie dokie. Take
All of his
15.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Hey!
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Why'd you close my broom closet? I want to go in it. Rude.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
You can't jump. Trophy earned. It is my instinct to keep trying to
Feeling
jump over
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I got a trophy for pressing X so many times, and I got a trophy for getting a trophy. This time we're gonna go through the mind control facility and not fall off. I think we're gonna be so good.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No climbing on desks this time. No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
528 is broken. Oh, someone got fired. I don't see any people.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
You say so. Just a giant number 5, that's all. Ooh. I have to press the big red button. Okay.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control?
Kinda.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Hi.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I don't know where the floor
Oh, dear
is.
me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No!
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. so you can't.
Bye. No.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
No.
Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I died. That was very stressful. Oh. Good okay. Here we go again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think this time I'm gonna go to the right and go on that elevator, but not fall off. Is this new? Why does this look different?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, I could do that. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I want to go on this.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You exploded me!
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Make me!
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who? My wife?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh boy.
That's her, Stanley.
Oh boy.
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yikes.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh no. Good morning. Press square on your controller.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and
Maybe
every
he
button
just-
that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature
Stanley's
of his
job.
existence.
This is really poorly designed. But if I just don't? What then? Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's
I'm being
told to
punished
do.
for not following
Now
directions!
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown,
Into the
fantastic
unknown.
discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day
Oh,
while
this
at
was a
work,
couch,
he
right? It
stepped
turned
out from
into a
his
desk?
desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy
Yikes.
world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
A
And he
baby?
called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Feeling very meta.
But there is no answer.
Oh,
How
no.
could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more
God.
invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm gonna do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
What if I don't press it this time? But also questioning nothing does seem like a smart thing to do. Fine.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe this
And I
time.
tried again.
Please
Stanley
die.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Okie. Well, here we go again.
Someone was following Stanley. He was
Oh.
sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Doors aren't closing behind me.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Maybe this time if I don't turn the power on.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
I really appreciate him speeding that part up for me. Maybe this time I'll escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Promise? I have a feeling this hole is
The
never
door
gonna end.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What if it's escape? Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh my gosh. I had 2 narrators. Do I have no narrators now? Oh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Ooh.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh my gosh. This is so funny. Office layout. The blueprint shows the office in the beginning. Game path from Stanley office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered through the development, but the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Wow. Pacing of this opening section is important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the players reach the 2 doors in a good time. The 2 doors. The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room is created, the rest of the game emerges in the extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Cool. I love this little Stanley Parable museum. Boss's office. Scenes from the development of the boss's office. Office clock. Freedom ending. This was our very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. I have not done that one yet. Countdown desk. One of the desks from the countdown ending. Freedom ending as it exists in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with the freedom above and content below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Zending. Screenshot depicts early version known as Zending, where it's eventually cut and merged other parts of the game. I don't think I've done Zending either. Fourth version of the ending, which we thought was complete, but decided to edit it and change it shortly before launch. Zending levers. Game is now paused. Escape menu. Four major trailers. Cool. Maintenance layout. Flow of hallways. Following the first two doors is important to get right since players will play them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately the simplest version won out. Oh yeah. Ooh, there's a hidden maintenance door? Is that my precious broom closet? The simplest version. So, okay, interesting. Meeting room. Cool. Apartment timer. Previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending. A timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Interesting. I feel like I need to... There's so many more endings. We need to keep playing. How do we get out of this museum? Very cool concept, but I want to have more endings before I can... be impeccable. There's some... What about the other narrator? Oh, additional voice work, probably them.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Squash. Oh no. Things look bad out here.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
There's an alarming number of papers here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I feel like... Yeah, okay. We'll go to the boss's office. We'll go into the mind control room again. And we'll power down the machine and see what happens.
Here's the door, just go.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This time we'll actually shut off the machine.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I wish someone would
No,
manipulate me to be
he
happier.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
Pirate.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For...
Whoa. What's happening?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Did I do it?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Freedom!
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Free!
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Just admiring the view first.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hooray! I win! Oh, beat the game! Trophy earned! Well. Again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Whee! Ooh.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Don't mind if I do.
This sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I like this narrator.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Hooray! I can jump! I will use all of my jumps. I like to jump. Oh. Can't jump, I can jump. Get a good one. No more jumps. That was exciting. I had a great time.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just jumping. Elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, okie dokie. Ooh, this is different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Ooh.
Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
This is very funny. Back when PC games were on CDs. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. I guess I can never delete this game off my console, just in case. Creative, surprisingly down to earth.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Splish bar sounds. I like how this is now the second museum within this game.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Serious room. Here now? Oh, here we go.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
This person's called Noodle Shaft. You're fine.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
This person played for 3.1 hours. They obviously didn't hate it as much as they say they did. Take it from me, you can't let the negative reviews get you down. As someone who's gotten death threats over a television review. Sometimes you just gotta touch grass. Not fight with teenagers on the internet.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people.
But I think
and
it's
if
very
the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, We'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Don't make me hit this button again.
I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
I don't know what options we have, narrator.
Has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
Remember in,
a porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
That dice
I'll take
game
any
we played?
of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door
where the narrator
before,
ended up being
there?
a person.
I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you. Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh my god.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my god, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh,
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the
I clearly
vessel
don't
I
mean that,
needed,
because
Stanley.
I will
Not
yap
the
whether or not
outcomes,
someone's
not the
listening to
story.
me.
None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was
You're
I
real to me,
scared of that all
narrator.
along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time. But
Yeah.
if
I'm sorry.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the
actually,
longest time.
I kind of
Stanley.
did in 2020,
Days,
to be honest.
Months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both
Narrator? Narrator. Narrator. Where'd you go? Oh God. Fan even stopped. Is that the clock doing that? Oh. Is it a CO2 detector? Or just the fire alarm batteries have gone off?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
This building's gonna fall apart on us.
End is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh God. Narrator's asleep again. These pipes are leaking even more. Oh, God. I don't know. Can we get out now? The poor plant got smooshed. Oh, it's daytime. Oh, yeah. Let me use this ladder to get out. Maybe plants growing in it. Oh, there's a piece of paper on the floor that I didn't see before. Also, I called it with the plants. Oh no, where'd all the plants go? Do we have a nuclear winter? I'm surprised no one has come down here to put graffiti on the walls yet. Did we get kidnapped by space aliens? What is any wind or anything anymore? Oh, feels like gravity looks a little twisted. Ooh, what the hell? We're free. We lost the narrator, though. Well, we've reached the end of the world, my friends. That doesn't seem to be getting as far away as it should be. Well then.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yeah,
yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I was tempted by the second new in that sign.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Hey.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe. What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Cool red
it's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Color red. 2 Stanley 2 Parable.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Sequels are good.
I figure
Portal 2,
that if I
Half-Life
can
2.
loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
Aladdin 2,
that
Return of
surely the
Jafar?
game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Ooh.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Button that says the name of the player that is playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I think I've seen this part on TikTok.
Jim.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
I saw a clip
let's have you role play as
of
Jim
somebody who's
to
actually
really simulate
named
the
as
full experience
Jim,
of this
and
feature.
he pressed it
Just
and he
play
lost his
along.
whole
I
mind.
promise you'll love it.
It was very
Okay,
funny.
here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Hi, I'm Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and
You
waking
can call me
as
Jim Jam.
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams
Never Jimmy,
crumble into
just Jim.
dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press
Jim.
the button.
Jim.
Wow, it's my name!
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Ooh, okay.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I can't imagine what kind of voiceover work would have to go into saying everyone's name. Like, saying your...
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Let's see. Wait, we did that already. Oh, that's very funny. Exclusive, the button that says Jim. You heard Jim in the game. That sign changed. That's very funny. Okay. Jump circle and infinite hole. The reassurance bucket. I like reassurance. Reassurance bucket, office decorations, infinite hole. Let's go to reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
As long as you hold on to the bucket,
there's
the
bucket.
many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel
I thought it
perfectly
was
normal and perhaps even
reassuring.
comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I love this bucket.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on,
The
don't
same
they?
as Billy the bucket, and
All
he is my
this
best
and
friend.
more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Great, I will keep my bucket. Best friend bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
The Stepneys. Get well someday. I like the blue better, though.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Amazing. Honestly, there was no wrong answer there.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Merch. I wonder if that's actually merch. I don't feel like scanning the QR code right now, but I bet it goes to an actual merch page. Free, do an easy trophy. It just works. I love trophies. Sold. Free trophy. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
No.
Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
But I have a bucket. Give me the trophy. I wanted the trophy. I wanted it so bad. I love trophies.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I swear this room changes every time I come out here. Expo Hall. Trophy, but it's his name. Merch. Blog. Where's the void hold? Wasn't there a void hold? Okay. This is new. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
No!
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
No!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, there we go. Infinite hole. It won't end. Please no screenshots. Well, guess what I'm gonna do? Infinite hole, where are you?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, I thought maybe it wouldn't have worked. But I want to fall a little longer.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Is your infinite hole not actually infinite, sir?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Is it me? Am I the drama?
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Infinite-ish.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I think I've sort of seen everything. Is this one of the things I can collect? It would have been funny if it let me take this one. Okay, jump circle, this map, free trophy, buttons, is named on merch, settings, world champion. collectibles beside us, but I think that... Oh yeah, there. Aha. Mostly infinite hole. That's new. Come on. Settings row champion. Okay. And Billy the Bucket.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
This is what the reassurance bucket was. Oh, no. See, this exit sign wasn't always there. Fine, it ended. Okay.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Whoa, trippy.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I
Yes, I
love my
know it's
bucket.
not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh, boy.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Or Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh. I kind of want to end here, but I'm afraid... I don't know what the game does if you end it. I'll hit begin just to see what happens, but then I would like to stop this game at some point.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, okay. It is kind of starting it over.
Stanley worked for a company.
there's just the balloons. Okay, alright. This is hilarious. I love that there are the balloons now.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I missed
What
my
could it
bucket
mean?
already.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My bucket. May I have my bucket?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Thank you. I feel better already.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as
My
clear
bucket.
as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
It's my bucket.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
My
This
bucket.
is your companion and lifelong friend.
It's my best friend Billy.
Can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has
We
to
were best
resort to
friends
this
before
stream
broom
of petty
closet.
insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial
How
and convenient?
dare
That your
you.
life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never.
Dare you.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
Yeah,
Really
get-
tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
How dare you.
Expand on the wide variety of
my
experiences
best
you and the
friend.
bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
Well, I
Share your
found him.
journal entries detailing the
and then I
rich
lost
emotional
him.
landscape of your feelings
And
for
then
the
I
bucket
found him
as
again.
they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
And now we're reunited, and nothing that no one will ever be able to take us apart again. So there.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I don't really want to go upstairs, though. Let's go downstairs. Me and the bucket.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
No.
And that's when Stanley
the bucket
realized,
would-
this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
No,
How did I end up
Billy.
with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come
No.
from this. Who knows what sorts of
bucket.
bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the
My bucket is-
psychologically grounding presence of his
Go on.
bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
I like
Where
the
is
bucket
it?
is part of
I
this
must
now, even
find
though
it.
it's the same.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket!
Stanley, Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
I missed you, bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one
Hooray!
bucket after the next.
Bucket.
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to
bucket.
me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to
Where
find the
am I,
bucket. He
bucket?
had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
No.
It was incredibly painful.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
No, my bucket. Billy, where are you?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Did I have a bucket this time?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort
She has
and
a
security,
bucket.
and walked to her place of work.
Yay,
But on this
Billy!
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Without a
Right
bucket.
away,
So
she
sad.
knew what the problem was. This man had
He
no
had no bucket.
Of course, he'd gone mad.
I would also go
ranting and
crazy if
raving
I
about
lost
a
my
narrator
bucket.
describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own
A
bucket
cruel
even
bucketless
closer.
existence.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work.
That would be made better
for which
by
her
the
bucket
bucket.
would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Bucket supremacy!
Yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And
Go
she
buckets!
backflipped all the way to work.
Amazing. Okay, this is where I'm going to end. Even though the hallway looks different now. And there's another bucket. Okay, no, we're gonna end. And hope that it remembers us. Oh no, I don't know that it does. Okay, but it's okay. We'll figure it out if we play this again. That might be it. I'll have to look to see how many more endings there are, or if this is kind of an indefinite game. But I really wanted to see what it was about because I've seen some clips on TikTok and it looked interesting. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.